Yo, 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 welcome to the Coffee and Convo brought to you by Surge Radio. You are now rocking with your man, David D. Young Sr., also known as Lyricist. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. And, we're going to be getting into the topics here soon. But before we hop into the topics, I want to let you guys know I've been busy. That's why I haven't been so consistent with releasing these episodes. But I promise you there will be more consistency. But with that out of the way, let me get into some of the news that I have. I have a new podcast coming, and it's going to be called Learn, Apply, Lead. That's going to be for all my people that's looking to talk about topics that's business and entrepreneur driven, and we're going to be focusing on those topics, whether it's real estate, business, music, whatever. That's what that's going to be focused on. It's going to be a lot of educational tools that's given with that podcast, and that the goal is to have that released every Monday afternoon. Nothing is happening to the Coffee and Convo podcast. This is still going to be the same. This is our place where it is. We can talk about different subjects from a personal point of view, and also we're going to continue to keep giving motivation as well. So nothing is happening with Coffee and Convo. That's just another one of our podcasts, but we are adding to our our slate, adding to the brand of podcasting. So so Learn, Apply, Lead will be coming soon. Just follow my social media to get more details and information about that. But nothing's happening to Coffee and Convo. It's going to stay the same, but I'm going to be a little bit busier. You guys can hear me a lot more. So if you don't catch me on Coffee and Convo, you can catch me on Learn, Apply, Lead. And, let's hop straight into these topics today. It's been a struggle this morning, I'm not going to lie. Because I've been like, okay, I got so much I got to do. I got to focus. I got to make sure I give my focus to this, my focus to that. So I want that to be the topic right now, because sometimes a lot of people think that business ADHD is bad. Business ADD is bad, but it's not, and the fact that, there's nothing wrong with having your attention on a lot of things. And I say that because people get discouraged because they feel like, okay, well, I'm focused on so much stuff. I have to slow myself down and only focus on this. Well, you don't have to feel like you have to focus on one thing. You have to come up with a way to balance yourself amongst multiple things. Because I heard, even from entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he said it's okay to have business ADD, where your mind is working on multiple projects at once. But weaponize the tools you have at your disposal so you don't feel so spread out. Use AI. Use your cell phone. Do memos. Keep a memo book by you. Hire an assistant if necessary to make it to where it is you're able to keep track of those different things. I'm not going to lie. I'm spread between a lot of things right now. I got my home repair and construction company picking back up and getting busy as hell. I had to hire a person for that. I got, my, real estate stuff starting to pick up. So I'm selling properties like crazy. I haven't hired a person for that aspect yet to help funnel those, deals that I'm getting, because I'm still managing that stuff. But on the other side of that, I do have an assistant that's helping me with the property management. We are just starting our property management company, and we're starting to grow. Our portfolio of management is starting to grow. So I have a person that's helping me with that and getting things together. So we're still putting things together, but I am putting myself in a position where it is, if I feel like my mind is spread thin and I'm all over the place, I'm putting functions into place where it is, if I do bring in other individuals to help, I'll let them manage those things for me. I'm doing my best to make sure I'm accessible to those individuals, but at the end of the day, I have to make sure that I'm not killing myself too. But I'm still committed to those multiple visions because I'm passionate about everything. And I haven't even said anything about the music stuff yet because I am actively getting back into the music industry. And what do I consider to be a part of the music industry is my actual recording. I am acting I am back to writing and recording and releasing music. I release music. We've been doing promotion for it and everything else. It's starting to pick up. It's starting to, gain traction. And, sooner or later, I foresee me getting back on the road and doing touring and things like that. But before I do those type of things, because I'm passionate about business and music, before I get back on the road, I want to make sure I leave systems in the place that allows for me to make that type of decision and move forward and go and hop on the road and take my family with me and go on tour and perform and everything else. But I am going to put systems into place to make sure that each one of those things that I am also passionate about does not fall behind the eight ball. I don't care if I have to stop and pause one thing to focus on building one system that's going to work and then move to the next thing and building another system. It's about slowing myself down and realizing the tools that I have in front of me. They're there for a reason. Hell, if I could use my PS5 to maximize or something, I'll do that too. To make life easier for me. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I do have a plan for everything that I'm a part of. And I'm not stopping. So I look at let's break down everything that I do. So I have where I started, this company that I've had since I was in my early teens is Sergey Records. And it evolved to Sergey Music Group. Where it is, I was managing artists at one point, and we still have the capabilities, but I do less of it now. But as a brand, Sergey Music Group or Sergey Records has evolved to other aspects. That's why you hear the brand of Surge Radio. It used to be Sergey MediaCast when my boy Jarrell was alive, God rest his soul, and we built the podcast before podcasting was even cool for artists to do. Because as lyricists, I was using that as a tool to promote and market myself and other artists in the early 2000s. So, before that was a thing, we focused on building a podcast or media presence. So that's why I took Sergey, and made it into a brand that could be used amongst multiple things. So you got Sergey Music Group, but you also have Surge Radio and Surge TV. And Surge TV is something that we're going to start working on more. Then we're going to be releasing our own content as far as, what you're going to see on TikTok and YouTube, things like that. But at the end of the day, I am still a lyricist. I am still an artist. I'm still going to give my all to being an artist. But I love the entertainment aspect as well. So my passion and my love for music and the entertainment industry isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to make sure that I put the tools into place, which I am doing right now, to make sure that that is self-sufficient. When I am being lyricist, when I am performing, when I am focused on being an artist, I'm gonna do that, but I want to also make sure Surge Radio doesn't fall behind. My focus right now is building Coffee and Convo. I love Coffee and Convo because I'm able to have these personal conversations with you guys and share things, and also share my motivation, because I get motivation knowing that you guys are motivated by things that I say. and do. That helps me keep pushing forward. So, Coffee and Convo isn't going anywhere. So, Surge Radio, which also was something that featured Jarrell and, Spades. Spades will be coming back to Surge Radio. It's all about timing. He has a busy schedule. He's a busy man. That guy's my little brother. Love him to death. So I know he needed time to, get things together for himself and everything, so there's no pressure, because we want to make sure we're delivering the best content. And that is the original Surge Radio podcast. I wish Jarrell was still here, because I know if he was here, he would be managing Surge Radio without me. He wouldn't need me there, because we built it together and we already had the dream. So I'm going to weaponize Spades with the same information. So I'm building that to where it is Surge Radio by itself could be its own entity. And we're going to try to expand that and give other podcasters an opportunity to grow and put their platform out there. So I got visions for that too. So it doesn't just stop at Surge Music Group. Surge Music Group is the base for the entertainment. The brands that fall under it, Surge Radio, Surge TV, and even me as an artist, lyricist, fall under Surge Music Group. Now, let's move to my entrepreneur side. My D&Y Home Services and Management, LLC. The home services aspect of it is that we do home repairs and, maintenance, for properties. That's just the small side of D&Y. So we have handymen that go in, electricians, plumbers. We go in and we take care of the day-to-day things, from people's list that they want to get done. It's the simple stuff. Everybody needs simple maintenance around their home. I got my own home, and even though I could do all the work myself, at the end of the day, I'm like, maybe I should hire somebody. Bring one of my guys to do the work. But at the end of the day, I put energy into building that too. Because where it started with someone told me that they never believed that I'll be able to be successful in a business like that, because I was in a realm where it is I was going from working in hospitality and doing customer service and all that other stuff. And, I wanted to change gears. And I was like, okay, maybe I should give home repair and, start working with my hands a shot. So the person that was training me is like, yeah, I don't think you'll ever be good at this. I don't think you'll ever be able to grasp this, because, I don't feel like you're listening to me, because I'm one of those quiet listeners. I'm one of those people that quietly studies everything, right? So I never gave any feedback and said I did let them know that I was taking notes, that I was absorbing this information, until I started saying, hey, let me do it, because they wanted me to be more vocal. So I'm like, hey, let me do this, let me do that. And I start to do those things and do it. No praise. I was never looking for praise. No praise, no recognition. Then I start to grow. And I start to do more. I start to evolve more in that business. And I was like, hey, this is something that I think that will work. People need this service. People need someone that can do these things. Why don't I start my own business in this industry? I was starting to feel more confident in my skills. My carpentry skills became, much higher. The level of carpentry I could do now, much higher, sorry. my ability to do electrical, plumbing, much higher, drywalling, painting. So I became more confident. And there was a situation where when I was working for this individual that was training me, they shut down in the early winter. And they said, hey, well, you're going to have to figure it out because I don't work in the wintertime. And you're going to have to go figure out what you want to do. Maybe go get a regular job. Left me in the dark. Left me in a literal cold. So I had to figure it out. So all those skills that I absorbed and I planned, I went out, I started my own business. I started D&Y. Do nothing yourself. D&Y. Home services. And then I start reaching out to referral companies. They start sending me business. And I was getting booked. One after another. Sometimes, 5 jobs in a day, in a week. Next thing you know, I was on a roll. I was doing different things. I was doing just the basic stuff that I was taught, but then I start to, study other things. And I was on a roll. I was busy, super busy, from winter until, from winter to winter, honestly. I didn't have any downtime. Constantly working, watching the business grow. People were asking me to do more and more things. So I said, hey, you know what? Let me go study these things. Because the person that taught me how to do these things don't like to do these things that these clients are asking for. So I start adding that stuff and I start expanding my business. I start growing the business. I became more confident and unafraid to do more and challenge myself. So I was able to offer more and more services. It just went from being D&Y home services to being D&Y home services. And we were able to do rehabs, construction, demolition, everything. So being able to make a certain type of money in this pocket became to being able to make whatever I wanted doing the larger projects. And here it is years later, the individual said, man, you're really, really good at this. I never thought you was going to be this good. And I said, hey, you never thought I was going to be this good, but I am that good because I believed in me. So that's just the D&Y home services aspect of it. And I'm passionate about that too because I was told I couldn't do something. I put my all into it. So I was just as passionate about D&Y home services as I am about Sergey Music Group. And it didn't stop there. I had to revisit my passion for real estate. Because if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be successful in life, you got to dibble and dabble in real estate. You have to. Especially in the United States of America. You have to. So what did I do? I started studying again. And I made sure I added a nuance to D&Y home services and management. Right? Of which I'm going to still do something as far as separating the brands. But right now, everything falls under D&Y Home Services and Management, LLC. So I'm back into the real estate aspect of it. People are telling me, like, man, you got away from real estate and, we don't know if you could do it. Things have changed and everything else. It didn't take me long to get back into it. Took me maybe a few months to get my first deal done. And then the floodgates start to open. And the money start to come all over again. And then I had an epiphany. Not only do you wholesale and sell properties, why don't you do a form of disposition and acquisition? Help individuals acquire property And you can also dispose the properties that people have a hard time selling. Make yourself the hub. And that's what I did. Whereas everybody else is doing things the old school way, doing things a different, the familiar way, I decided to do things a different way. And I love the challenge. I'm like, man, I was like, you know what? Let me add something to this. Offer another service to the people that I'm bringing properties to. If you need help managing those properties, we can do that for you. And if it's in the same state that I'm in, we'll offer maintenance services too. That's where DIY home services come in. You go over there, we do the work, knock it out, get it ready for a tenant. We get a percentage of of that as well, and we're good to go. So, what do you got? Everything that I'm passionate about, that I had to divide my attention to, but I'm putting systems into place. But it's okay for me to have that business ADD. I'm giving time to everything. Now, you can ask me what my schedule is like throughout the week. It's still a little bit all over the place. Not going to lie. But it's going to improve. It's not going to change my mindset towards it. I'm not going to be dissuaded from anything. I'm not going to want to change my mind about anything I'm involved in. I am going to want to give myself to each and every one of those. So, earlier part of the week, I'm focusing on real estate. Throughout the entire week, I am actively working in the home repair and maintenance part of my company. And at the end of the week, over the weekends, I'm giving my energy to the music and the podcasting. So there's a way to do it. Just give yourself a schedule. Put Siri to work for you. Alexa, or whoever else. Let me make sure I don't say her name again because she'll come on. So I had to kind of pause there and redo it because I said her name. And I got her all over my house. So, but yeah, you can use that to your advantage. Use technology. Put together a spreadsheet. I am literally building spreadsheets and everything for everything that I do. It's because it makes my life easier. But you can put systems into place to make sure that you can make each and every one of those things work. As I talk to you, I'm like, man, I'm thinking of new ways to make, everything easier for myself so it can function on a higher level. If I can't manage it myself, I will absolutely find help in that. It's okay to be all over the place with your goals, but make sure you give yourself goals for each one of those things that you are dividing your attention to. You can be focused on multiple things, but find a system that works. That's all I say. Don't say, oh, well, I like this, but I can't do it because I have to work on that. You don't have to throw things away because of that. I gave those examples to you, and I put extensive time into the podcast doing that so you can see how I literally live my life. My goals, I tell myself, I say, you know what? I want each and every one of these. If it hasn't made me $100, then I got to put it to the side for a second and work on a way to make a way for it to make me $100. Okay? So it went from, if it doesn't make me $100, I got to put it to the side, to if it doesn't make me $1,000, then I got to put it to the side. I got to put it on the back burner. So I have to set monetary goals for those things that I want to be successful in. That's not a bad thing that you're giving monetary goals to what you want to see grow. These are all businesses I want to see grow. I have to see a monetary gain. I can't just keep working in music and not making money. When I was younger, I made a ton of money. You know, um, just getting into this like the home repairs aspect of stuff. I couldn't do that stuff and not make money because I had to pay for the services that I enlist to help me get new business and marketing and advertisement. You have to make money. You have to. I can't not make money doing property management or real estate. It has to make money. I have to set goals for it. And right now, my biggest goal for everything is to make sure I create something amongst all those things that I love to do that can create passive income, where I don't have to worry about where my money's coming in, how it's coming in, how I'm going to pay my bills. My biggest struggle right now is figuring out if I'm going to rent a home or buy a home. That's my biggest struggle right now. Because I have a family, not new family, but I have a new addition to my family. I have 2 children. I have a third child on the way right now. My goal is to make sure when it's all said and done, that whatever I leave for them, that's our legacy. So that they can be whatever they want to be with no limitation. I don't care if you have business ADD or ADHD, you feel like you all over the place. I want to be in fashion, but I also want to, be in music. And, I think I also want to be an actor or actress. You can do it all, but you got to find a system to help manage those. You can be passionate about multiple things. Look, guys, I didn't even mention the fact that I was growing a company doing car detailing. So it's like when I find a way to make things make money that makes sense with my time, I'll do it. If I'm passionate enough about it or like it enough, hell yeah, I'll do it. But I'm focusing on the 3 things that I love the most right now. That's my music, that's my home services business, and that's real estate. And there's nothing wrong with giving my energy to all of those, but having to find a way to give my energy to those. And guess what? I still make sure I'm accessible and I can be a good partner to my girlfriend and even better parent to my children. I'm not going to lie. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect. But give yourself room for error. Not a ton, but enough. A realistic amount of error, because it happens. So, if you ever have any struggles, listen to this podcast again. Listen to this episode. And you'll see that there is other people out there like you that has the same aspirations, that has the same goals, that happens to be in love with multiple things. They have to just find a way to make it work. There's a ton of things that I can still improve on, professionally and personally. But I'm putting tools into place to do that. And I accept it. It's all about accountability with this stuff as well. When you make that commitment, know that some things may not be perfect in the beginning, but be dedicated to find a way to make things work, because it can work. Just give it an opportunity to do so. All right, guys, I want to thank you for checking out the podcast. If you haven't done it yet, you make sure you follow me at I_am_lyricist on all platforms, social media. Also, if you want to check out some of my personal stuff from the business aspect, you can just look for David D. Young _senior, and you'll be able to check out what I got coming up, even with the new podcast, Learn, Apply, Lead. So I appreciate you guys for checking out this podcast. Until the next episode, catch you guys later. Peace. This your man Lyricist, a.k.a. David Young.